And we are live with another episode of the Keeg Talks. Today, the Keeg Talks, the best of 2024, because we're here at the end of the year, and we're going to talk about all the cool stuff that came out in movies and TV, and, you know, maybe some other mediums. Who knows? We're going to talk about that all here on The Keeg. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. If you're watching us live, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show. And if you are, you can obviously see our guests. But if you aren't, and you're listening to the podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, then you can't see our guests. So let me introduce them. First, she's from the kingdom, and her name is Maggie. We got Maggie, a.k.a. Maggie Kingdom. I don't know what that means. Are you from the kingdom? What is that?
No, well, my last name is Kennedy, so like it already is a K, and I was trying to find like a good Instagram name a couple years ago, and someone suggested I should do Maggie Kingdom because I was doing a lot of Disney content at the time, and it's because it kind of sounds like Magic Kingdom, like Disneyland, or so it's a play on words to kind of sound like Magic Kingdom, but Maggie Kingdom. But some people actually think my last name is Kingdom, but it's close. It's Kennedy. It's another K, but it's not. I'm not royalty or anything.
I mean, one could say that the Kennedys are a kingdom of America, royalty.
Sure, a
American
kingdom of
royalty.
Mentally ill, lobotomized, assassaginated people.
What royal family isn't mentally ill? If you
so
think
true,
about it, you know,
so true.
But Maggie, I'm happy to have you on the show to close out this year, because this is the last. I think this is the last Keeg Talks for the year. No, we have one more, which is What If Season 3, and it hasn't ended yet, so we haven't done that episode yet. But I'm glad to have you. Well, let's consider this the Avengers Endgame of 2024.
Sure.
And then, Far From Home. Yeah, Far From Home is next episode, the epilogue. I'm rambling. Maggie, last time I had you on was San Diego Comic-Con's episode, so it's been a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to hear about all the movies and TV that you watched this year, because you're always doing.
I'm ready.
Something.
I'm always watching a movie.
Yeah. We also got Justin, aka Justin Jordan, aka Freddie's roommate, aka not Freddie, because Freddie is his dog.
Wow, look at you, real fan. You know all the stuff.
I know all the lore, you know?
You know all the lore. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been forever since we've done a show, so I'm really excited to talk about what happened in 2024, because so much happened. Like, I can barely remember all of it, but that's what I have you guys for.
That's the problem with doing like a year-end review, is that like January, it's like, what happened? Where were we in January? I don't know. Where were you guys in January?
Like physically?
As people.
Physically. In Ohio. January, it was cold. Celebrating my wife's birthday in January 9th. Give her a shout out, you know. Anyway, we were still in strike, right? Right?
Was it still in strike? When did the strike end?
I don't think so.
Or we were coming hot off the strike.
We were coming off we were going into the effects of the strike. But I believe
right.
The strike was over.
I think the strike ended like early November.
Yeah.
Right. It was the end of the strike. And I already knew that this year was going to, in terms of movies and television, this year was going to be a light year. It was going to be rough because it was a huge gap where we weren't making anything from like, what was it, July to November? There was nothing being made. We weren't even allowed to talk about any of the stuff. So I was already bitter. But anyway, I already knew that this year was going to be tough. But for the most part, it wasn't bad. What'd you guys think?
Like the year as a whole?
Yeah, in terms of like the stuff that we watched.
Well, I thought some great stuff came out this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Does anyone have like a rough top 5, top 10? I didn't give that to you guys as homework or anything, but like, you guys have like a couple that you want to rattle off? Otherwise, I'll just go through box office grosses and rattle some of those off. But you know.
I've been trying to figure out. I haven't made my top 10 list of the year because we were talking about this earlier when you were, I don't know, doing something, and it's hard for me at least to try and do my top movies of the year because all of these Oscar contenders come out with like limited theater engagements right at the end of December so that they're like eligible for the Oscars, but then they don't widely release until like January. So like there's a part of me that's like, okay, I need to do my top 10 of the year, but like I haven't seen like Baby Girl or A Complete Unknown, or I'm seeing The Brutalist today. I'm seeing it tonight.
I heard that film is like 2 to 3 business days.
It's like 3 hours and 15 minutes, but then there's a built-in 15-minute intermission.
Oh my god!
So it's like a 3.5 hour movie experience.
What is this, RRR? Am I right?
And I'm like, people are saying it's really heavy. I'm honestly not even that sure. All I know is that Adrian Brody plays a Holocaust survivor, and there's also something about architecture, and that's all I got. I'm like, I'm here for the vibes. I'm just going in.
Is this a sequel to The Pianist?
No.
It's the Ist
surprisingly
trilogy?
No. That would be cool.
Starring
crazy.
Adrian Brody.
That's crazy.
It's a little more depressing than that.
Okay.
But
probably.
It's brutal.
I'm not looking forward to seeing The Brutalist, but I'm gonna have to put it on the list before the Oscars come around. But I have a top 10 movies that I saw. I made a whole list. I made a whole YouTube video. Go check it out. Freddy's Roommate on YouTube. But I guess should I say my top 10?
Just rattle them off.
All right, number 10. I have Wicked.
Just barely sneaking in there.
Yeah, it was good though. I have no regrets about. Wait, that was a little high pitched. Do you not like Wicked?
I like Wicked. We'll get into that.
I have thoughts. We can get into it later once you're done with the listener. I have thoughts.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna risk my relationship with my girlfriend because she's a big fan of Wicked.
Is she listening?
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her. If she's listening. She's 3 hours ahead, so it's clear it's afternoon for her right now. So anyway, continue. Wicked was your number 10.
Wicked was my number 10. Then I had Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah,
fantastic return to form, and it brought new ideas to the franchise that were sorely missed. Then I have Saturday Night.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Dune Part 2.
Okay. I love Dune so much.
Dune. I have Fall Guy.
Oh, okay.
Anora. Love Lies Bleeding.
Oh, I missed that one this year.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. The best thing that Kristen Stewart has ever been in. Fall Guy. Did I already say Fall Guy?
Yeah, you already said Fall Guy. There's one movie I'm waiting for, and if it's not on the list, I'm literally cutting your mic. But continue.
Okay. Controversial. Lisa Frankenstein.
No, I love that movie.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's so good. Welcome back to the world, Diablo Cody.
Yeah.
We miss you.
We missed you so much.
And the top 2. Coming in at number 2, Conclave.
Oh my god, I need to watch that so bad.
It is really good. It washed over me. It worked. It moved me, Bob. And then number 1, the best film that I saw this year has to be. Can I get a drum roll, please?
I'm afraid.
It is Challengers.
Oh yeah.
Number 1.
Challengers. Dimitri, what's wrong?
What do you mean?
What movie?
I'm just assuming you did not see The Wild Robot.
No, I ain't seeing The Wild Robot.
Didn't? Oh, I love The Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot was one of my top movies of the year.
I was crying.
No, I love my mom, but I did not see The Wild Robot.
Okay, that's the only reason we're gonna still stay friends, because it's ignorance.
Yeah.
It's ignorance.
It's not that he saw it and didn't like it. It's that he just hasn't had the opportunity.
I don't have a top 10 list. I just know that Wild Robot is up there.
Oh, okay.
It's tops. So,
but it needs to be in the top 10. Come on,
Wild Robot's easily right, Maggie?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Yeah, maybe not. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, like, I'm not expecting it to be in a lot of people's top 5s, but like, if you're doing top 10 for sure.
Top 10 for sure. It's in my top 5, but like, it's my favorite animated movie this year for sure. Easily top.
Okay.
Like
over or under Challengers?
I never saw Challengers, so there's a lot of movies that I
What?
see.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But also Challengers isn't animated, so I
Animated Challengers movie.
I don't know. I don't know if The Wild Robot is my top animated movie this year, only because I loved Transformers 1 so much.
Really?
That's fair.
I loved it. It like unlocked something in me like a sleeper agent. I was like, "Oh my god, I love Transformers. What do you mean? What's going on?"
Interesting.
And it was so good. Maybe I was like swayed because I saw it like it came out in like September, but I saw it like right before Comic-Con. So I'm like, maybe I'm just like, oh well, I'm so cool because I saw it so early and it like pushed it up in my opinion. But I that movie was phenomenal.
That's how I felt about
was-
Borat. I saw it before everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Best movie of 2025, Borat. Or 2024. What year is this? I don't know.
There's a
You'll never
Borat
know.
movie that came out this
No.
year.
Wouldn't have been wild. An animated Borat movie? Insane.
Oh
Anyway.
no, don't give people ideas.
No, to be fair, I think that's the only way another Borat movie will get made if it's animated. Maybe like stop
Crazy.
motion, like puppets.
And they use the real interview like footage
Or-
and they animate it like
Or
Take the
like
audio?
oh my god, what is that movie? I watched it when I was younger and I definitely should not have. And it was like a very, oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. I think it was the creators of South Park, and it was a very, very raunchy movie.
Team America.
Team America?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think if a new Borat movie were to be made, it would need to be in the style of Team America.
Okay, fair.
That's my thing.
Oh, but yeah, Transformers 1 was good.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean, I don't know. I grew up on Transformers.
Mhm.
So it
No,
didn't-
you did. Did you really? You grew up on Transformers?
I'm 30. What are you talking about?
But
I
like-
grew up
but
on
like-
I grew up on Beast Wars. Anyone older than me grew up on Transformers, and then Transformers kind of came back after Beast Wars. Sorry.
Okay.
You grew
I
up on
didn't-
Transformers?
I mean, I'd like to think so, but now you got me. Now,
No, you did. I mean,
questioning
Michael
myself.
Bay Transformers were huge.
They were,
It
yeah.
was my chance. It was the animated one, but not.
Oh, yeah.
It was
and-
a
I forget
lot.
what
No.
it's called. You're right.
No,
you're
it
right.
was the anime one. It was anime like
oh,
it was
yeah.
like right before Transformers Prime. If them and they
Mhm.
were
Yeah.
CGI, but like the people the like
Armada?
the kids were- Yes, Transformers Armada.
Wow.
Was that what it's called? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I
That
grew
was
up
my-
thinking that Bumblebee was a girl, and then I was very upset when I found out that Bumblebee was not a girl. I was like, "What do you mean this cute Volkswagen isn't a lady? What do you mean?"
I mean,
do robots have gender? Well,
They do in
Transformers
Transformers
one,
1.
They absolutely have
according to
trans-
Michael Bay, they do.
which is insane. Transformers 1 was good. It did have that like interesting kid humor, that new style of kid humor where it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, he's right behind me, isn't he? A little bit, where it's like,
Yeah.
I think
maybe this isn't for me.
I think kids movies I think a lot of kids movies, some of the humor, they like take like the worst type of humor from Marvel movies. Like I feel like
Right.
He's Right Behind Me is a very like early like Marvel thing.
Have they
or,
ever
like-
done
yeah,
that?
I'm going to
though?
challenge you. I'm
It's
going to
silly.
challenge you.
I'm
to-
just saying the style of it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that there was a full on. I'm not saying that Iron Man ever said that, but it's like the style and the idea of that. Well, also, okay, we're not going to say that. Also, that the Avengers movies are like comedic masterpieces because I will never forgive Joss Whedon for having like Bruce Banner like fall on Nat's boobs during Age of Ultron, and it's like, oh, sorry, my bad, and it happens like twice in the movie. It's insane.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand where you're coming
So-
from. I completely understand. But keep in mind, you are talking to someone who loves Age of Ultron. I love
Okay,
it so much.
There's a lot of stuff to like in Age of Ultron. There's a lot of stuff to like. Okay, but we can't talk about that. Liz.
Yeah.
That movie came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, we gotta move on. Maggie, do you don't have a top 10, right?
I have not made a top 10,
That's cool.
but I can rattle off.
Yeah, rattle off some.
in no particular order.
Yeah.
Definitely Have to mention Dune Part 2. I love Dune.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to finish the book right now. Dune Part 2, Challengers, Sneak Attack that I actually just caught up on that I hadn't watched yet. The First Omen slaps.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely slaps. No, that was last year. I was like, when did Saw X come out? That was last year.
I'm looking through the list of
Wait, did it come
box
out this
office
year?
stuff right now.
No, it was last year, right?
Good question.
What did?
Was Saw X? That was last year, right?
Oh, Socks came out 2023.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I feel like I'm going insane. I'm trying to think of like the horror movies I saw. I loved what did I already say? I said Challengers, I said Dune, I said First Omen. I loved Anora. I loved Nosferatu. Oh my god, you guys.
I haven't seen it yet. Is
I
it good?
loved it. I need to see it again ASAP. I guess if it was a
I hope
top
they do a sequel, by the way. I haven't seen the first one, but I hope they do a sequel called Nosferatu.
I knew you were
gotta
gonna
use the
say
branding.
that.
You gotta. You
Boo.
gotta. Also, I'm sure there's many articles out there that are like, yes, Ferratu.
Yeah,
It was a great
probably.
movie. I'm sure there are many. So,
It was great.
you know.
Yeah, the Wild Robot is definitely up there. I love that. Oh, I love The Substance. There we go.
Oh,
Now there's not even a number. I'm just like, yeah, I love this movie. I love Lisa Frankenstein. I loved Alien Romulus. Oh, Trap. Let's talk about Trap. Love Trap.
Oh no.
Trap
Oh,
fell
no.
apart at the end. The Trap and Substance fell apart at the ends.
I
In one
would
case, literally, but that's a whole nother
I would
podcast.
challenge you on The Substance. I think The Substance is very French. And Civil War. I love Civil War. There we go.
I cannot get behind Civil War.
I don't know. I really liked it. I don't know.
Maybe it's because I disagreed with Civil War. And
Sure.
as someone who like was a former journalist, it's like, dude, come on. Like the journalist character in that movie has no recording device. One of them, the guy one, I'm like, bro, you have the story of the century, and it's just trust me, bro.
Well, they're like
No recording device.
well, sure.
You know, like anything.
Yeah, it is a little odd if you really think about it.
Like, damn, come on. Maybe it's because I'm American. I'm like, so who went against war with this person in California and Texas team?
You can't think about that part that hard. Like that's like the fairy tale
But
aspect
it's
of
weird
it.
though, right? Like, I don't know. I heard mixed reviews on that movie. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about seeing it, but
I think I'm in the minority of people that would put it on their top 10. But I don't
know. I'm looking at box office gross for America, and I'm looking at box office gross for worldwide, and the difference between the top 10s is really just one movie or two movies not switched, but whatever. Twisters broke top 10 American box office at number 8, and Venom 3 did not break American top 10, but Venom broke worldwide top 10. And Twisters did not break worldwide top 10.
I thought Twisters was just okay.
Twisters is deeply American, so I get it.
Yeah. It really is.
I liked Twisters, and I liked it better than the first.
I have not seen Twister, but Twisters was one of those ones where I was like, I really need to see it so I can accurately say what movies I liked this year. Because it was such a big like moment. And I just didn't see it, and so I finally watched it, and I was like, that was cute. I think it's like a little on the nose in some parts, like David Cornsweet's character being like, "Oh my god, like yeah, this was like an inn gets like destroyed by a tornado or a twister or whatever." I still don't understand the difference. And then he's like, this was family owned and operated. I'm running the diagnostics because they like work for an evil corporation that like poaches land from people who have their like homes destroyed in natural disasters.
Yeah.
And then like he's also like very misogynistic. Like like it's like a caricature. But then also he's like a Twister scientist hunter, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what's happening? Also, they should have kissed at the end. Steven Spielberg, I'm in your walls.
Steven Spielberg and David Cornsweet?
No.
No, like you didn't
It'd be a
hear the
different
story.
movie. The two Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn whatever.
Yeah, Powell.
There's just a kiss at the end. Like they recorded a thing where he goes to get her at the airport, and then they don't even hug in the movie, which I was like, people don't do physical touch in the Midwest. Okay, whatever. I was like, that sounds
I
fake.
like the tension though. It's like
But they
you
don't
you
even-
want to see what happens next. Like
No,
we're left to seeing.
movies need to be horny. We need to have more horn
It
dogs.
was horny. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
It was
No.
chased
This
horny.
was so horny.
It was kind of chased horny, right?
Okay.
No,
I do not need to see the lips to make contact. Okay.
I do.
What is your definition of horny? Would you call challengers horny?
Sure, in some places.
Yeah, but they never fuck in that movie. Oh, sorry. Yeah, am I allowed to curse on this
Yeah,
podcast?
you could say it's the end of the year. All your
All bets are off.
Yeah.
No, because like I don't know.
There's so much tension
but
in challengers.
Yeah, there can be tension without ripping your clothes off. I mean, I feel like the idea of a three-way makeout in some ways can be hornier than just like straight up like having sex with your clothes off. But no, there was just a kiss at the end, and Steven Spielberg, because it was produced by Amblin Entertainment, was like, "No, don't do that." And they're like, "Yes, sir. Yes, Steven Spielberg. You made West Side Story. You can do whatever you want." And then they didn't do it. And I was watching the movie, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "They didn't even hug. Nothing." It was just like, I don't know. I'm here for tension and like unspoken things and stuff like that. But like, you got to give me something. You got.
I don't know. Steven Spielberg has earned a couple of like, he was right about, he made The Color Purple.
I've never seen E.T., so I don't really care.
Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Schindler's List. I mean, I feel like he has a couple points on the board.
To be fair, he made Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is constantly kissing women.
That's okay. The reason why I agree with Steven Spielberg not to kiss, because it propels the narrative forward at the end. If they kiss, it's like, and then it ties it up in a bow. Like if we never see these characters again, wow, that's the end.
Which you probably won't.
I know. I'm not saying I want a sequel. It's that our minds are filling in the story that's like what it's going to. We didn't need the kiss to cement knowing that they're gonna kiss or they're gonna date in the future.
Sure.
The more important moment for me was him digging in the car into the concrete. That's the move, and going like, if you feel it, chase it. That's the fulfillment of the thesis of the movie, not the actual smooch, in my opinion. But maybe we'll see him smooch one day. Who knows?
I just thought it was so odd. Like it was like all this build up, and he's like running to her, and then she's like turns around and is like, "Oh hey, okay, let's go." And it's like you're not even gonna hug this guy.
Yeah,
because it's their shared love.
You're not even...
They're chasing their shared love, which is tornadoes.
Okay. You know how I share love with people by hugging them and kissing them and touching them. Maybe I'm just annoyed because my love language is physical touch, and I'm like, why is no one touching?
Fair.
Like, why is no one touching in these movies? What's going on?
I thought they should have gotten into a car at the end, and the car should have flown off as they
Sure.
Like what is this? Grease?
Yeah. So this year was a little slow for the Keeg Talks. Like I looked at like 2023 and we did like 30 some episodes. And then this year, this is the 14th episode. So there's a lot of movies we never got to touch, and I never got to touch on Twisters. Not that there's much to say other than Anthony Ramos was getting cucked every single direction.
Yeah.
And I just imagined him being like, Vanessa. And like,
yeah, that poor guy.
Poor guy. Anyway, point being is, I don't know. I don't have a point.
Twisters was fine. That's the point.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. The original one was written by Michael Crichton, who wrote Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And he's very like, corporations are bad, and they try to take advantage of people, and they cut costs and whatever. Anyway, I like Twisters, but it was fine. Let's go worldwide box office. I'm just gonna rattle these off from 1 to whatever. Number 1 was Inside Out 2. Biggest box office gross of
I
the
didn't see
year.
that on principle. I
Why?
didn't think it needed to exist, and so I didn't want to give it my money.
Oh, dang.
Okay, but the wild robot needed to exist. I'm sorry.
Wild robot.
Whoa!
Wild robot.
Yeah, this beautiful story about found family and like environmentalism. Yeah, I think it did.
It's so good.
No, I my relationship with Disney and its sequels and prequels is fraught, and so now I just kind of don't trust it.
Yeah.
And but here's the thing, I really liked Inside Out, and I just think that was the reason why I was like I don't need another one of these. I was
think
like
it works
respectfully, and that's totally fine, and I'll watch it eventually. I keep meaning to, but it's just not high up on my list of like things to catch up on. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna see it, and I didn't see it, and the world still spins.
I think Inside Out lends itself. They could do 20 of these movies because every stage of her life is just a different complex set of emotions.
And Inside Out 5, she has to deal with the homicidal rage emotion when she gets cut off in traffic. And and then it's like, oh my god, and here's you've seen sadness, here's her grandmother, clinical depression.
Oh my god.
So
the mind is a scary place to hang out in.
Yeah. Well, I love Inside Out too, just because of anxiety and
sure, that seemed to be the fan favorite.
Yeah. Justin, you have any thoughts about it?
I think Inside Out 2 was a worthy successor to the first one. Didn't need to change the formula. We just got more Inside Out 2. And if that's the case, it's one of those things where it's like, well, if that's what you're going to do it. And there's only one way to do it,
Fair.
More emotions. So they just kind of played the hits in a way, but other than that, I had a good time. No complaints. Surprised that Inside Out 2 is this big.
Yeah, it was weird to me. Yeah.
I think this is, I don't know, how do I say, not leftover, but the effects of people binging this in the pandemic. Same thing with Moana 2. Moana 1 is the most streamed thing on Disney Plus ever.
Which is weird. I would have thought it would be Frozen.
I mean, it's just children just replaying, which is
not Frozen,
it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But maybe it just that, when did Moana come out?
2016, I think.
2016? So maybe it was
It had to be late. I think it was late.
2017?
Probably 2017.
So when did Disney Plus come out?
2019 or 2020. It came out right in time for the pandemic.
Because Frozen was 2014.
Moana is 2016.
Yeah, because it came out because it was the fall after I graduated. I graduated high school in 2016.
So maybe it's that. Maybe this is the newest animated.
Yeah, it's the kids who are replaying things are just younger, and the people who watched Frozen as a kid are already tweens, and they're not going to rewatch Frozen.
Frozen 2 came out in 2019 though. So is that throwing a wrench in our theories?
No.
If Frozen 2 was better, then maybe, but it's
and Frozen 2 didn't immediately come out on Disney Plus. It was the fact that Disney Plus launches, and the thing is Moana, which is the most recent animated thing, and then Inside Out, which is the most animated thing. So they're watching this all throughout the pandemic until the second sequels come out this year.
That's fair. I never thought about it like that.
That's my guess.
They were the last theatrically released movies before the pandemic hit.
Or the last princess, the big princess movie was Moana. Obviously they had more movies leading up.
Yeah.
I think
Moana 2 I did not see. That was
neither.
That's number 4 though in the worldwide box office.
Wow.
Here's the thing. Alihi Kuroda. You are a wonderful, cherished human being. I met her, and she's the nicest human on the.
She seems nice.
She's so nice. She's so short, by the way. She's like barely 4 feet, nothing. But anyway,
okay.
Moana 2 was a huge disappointment. I did not have a good time. The rumors of this being a television series first for Disney.
It's not
Plus,
rumors. It's real. It's fully.
It's true until Bobby Iger.
Very confirmed. And also, sorry to interrupt, but F you to Disney, because they got around all these labor costs by making it cheaper with their Toronto staff. And because it's all the people in Toronto, there's like some weird thing where they like are making less money from this movie because it was made as a TV show and now it's a
Oh.
movie. And so
Because
I'm
you
like,
don't get
wow.
cuts for box office revenue if you're signing contracts for TV.
Yeah, and also and it's something with them being like the Toronto studio or something like that. I did not see it. My boyfriend saw it and he said you could really tell when like the episodes started and ended. Like to him, he was like, okay, I could kind of tell like what these 30-minute chunks were. These were just supposed to be
Exactly.
episodes of a TV show, but I didn't see it, so I will stop talking.
Okay.
It was just, I can't remember a single song from the entire movie.
Yeah.
This is the one without Lin-Manuel Miranda. An important note for us on TikTok. You remember the people who made the Bridgerton unauthorized musical?
Mm-hmm.
They made the music for this one.
They did, Barlow and Bear.
Good for them. I'm happy that they followed their dreams and like got work
Sure.
after the whole debacle.
I mean, hot take. I don't think the Bridgerton musical was that good. I thought it was.
Maggie.
I thought. I thought it was cat. I thought I liked the one song. I liked their like song that they did for Daphne, like the duet, like the Oceans Away song. But like, I think there was a reason it got popular on TikTok because all of the songs had like really good like 30-second snippets, and then the rest of it is like just like fine.
Yeah.
They won a Grammy.
Yeah, but they didn't make up the story of Bridgerton. Like,
True.
I don't know.
That's what Netflix said too. Anyway.
That didn't come out in 2024 either.
I have a question because we're gonna hop from number 4, Moana 2, to worldwide release of another movie. But something that I was just thinking about is just musicals in general and how I feel like I'm on the outside because people are loving musicals and I'm like, I can't connect with some of these songs the way I do with, like, I was just listening to the Michael Bolton I Can Go the Distance from Hercules years ago, right? Like, we're talking, the Disney Hercules movie, right? And I was listening to that and I was like, why aren't songs right now, at least, again, maybe it's just me, hitting the same way? A Whole New World, I Can Go the Distance, any of those songs from the Disney Renaissance hit me in a different way. Moana, the first one, I loved the songs in that. It hits me great. But I'm going to be honest, Wicked doesn't hit me music-wise. It doesn't tickle whatever part in my brain that it needs to tickle. There was like 1 or 2 songs from Mufasa that worked for me.
I haven't seen Mufasa yet. Is it good?
I'm not seeing that movie, straight up.
I love The Lion King, so I got to see it, and I already saw it, and it is what it is. Mufasa is number 20 on worldwide box office, number 20. And there's like 2 songs, because it's all Lin-Manuel Miranda, right? He jumped from Moana to Mufasa, and it doesn't hit. I don't know. There's something.
Maybe you just really like Alan Menken. maybe that's it. Because I mean, to be fair, like Wicked, the musical, was released in 2002, 2003. So like it would be right off of like the Disney, all of those Disney songs that you really love. Like, like Mulan came out in like 1998.
I love Mulan. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like all of those songs. So like in theory, Wicked would be around that same era of like songs that you are claiming to love. But I don't know. I love the songs in Wicked. I grew up with Wicked. Wicked was it wasn't the first show I ever saw on stage. That title belongs to Phantom of the Opera. But I love Wicked and I still have like my fancy like playbill from when I saw the touring cast in San Francisco when I was like 10. I love that show.
Justin, are you a fan of Wicked?
I loved Wicked. I did.
Were you aware of it before the movie? Were you like a fan of the musical?
I saw it when it came to my town, the touring production. So I was happy then. I was happy now. But here's the thing. Everyone knows that the best part of Wicked is Act 1. And then Act 2.
Sure. Act 2 is there.
leaves
Also,
a lot to be desired, right? It's like how everyone leaves after Act 1 of Into the Woods. Like, wow, what a
and
great story.
you have to tell people not to leave.
No. There's more to the story.
The ushers have to be literally tell you like, please don't leave. There's another half of the show.
Yes. And so it's no surprise when you just make an entire story out of the first half of Wicked, it's really good. All the great songs are in the first half of Wicked. So I am very curious about how part 2 is gonna land.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's literally going from like, I don't know.
All
It's
of
like
the craziest bullshit. Like when you think of Wicked and you think of like all the stupid stuff that happens, all of the stupid stuff is in Act 2.
I wouldn't say stupid. I would say
It's silly. Silly. We can say silly.
ambitious, you know?
I read the
Like,
Wikipedia to figure out what
you
comes next.
spoiled yourself?
I explained my favorite game to play this year was explaining Wicked lore to my boyfriend, who only has like a rudimentary understanding of the Wizard of Oz. Like he's like, yeah, I've seen the Wizard of Oz growing up. Like he hasn't seen it recently, and just like, trying to explain like what happens. Like it, like you can see the gears turning and his eyes get wide. And I tell him, I'm like, yeah, this I won't spoil anything in Act 2 for anyone watching who doesn't want to be spoiled, even though the book has been around for years and also the musical is like 20 years old. But I digress. I'll be kind. I'll choose kindness. But like I'll tell him plot points that happen in Act 2 specifically, like especially stuff that like directly connects to Wizard of Oz, but also doesn't because it doesn't make sense. And like his eyes just get so wide. And he's just like, that's not real. That's not real. Like that didn't happen in this play. What do you mean that happened in this play? So I'm very, very excited for people, for all the Ariana Grande stans who like just discovered movies because she was in it. I'm very excited for them to see it happen and go, what the fuck was that?
So here's the thing. I already know the tweet that's gonna be crafted. That's gonna happen. Someone's gonna
put it in the drafts.
Someone's gonna leave Wicked 2, and they're gonna pull out their phone and they're like, I can't believe they did that to Nessa. I can't believe that they made her so evil. And you're like, listen, Linda, listen, honey, listen. That's the Wicked Witch of the East.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Wicked. Sorry.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
But yeah, that's like there's like all the Tin Man, and I don't want to spoil it all for Dimithri in case
I've already been spoiled. Okay, here
he read the Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia.
Okay, but Dimithri, homework. You can see the Wicked stage play at the Pantages through February. It's at the Pantages this entire next month.
Actually, Dimithri, she's really right. You should take your girlfriend to see Wicked.
I probably will. Actually, that's a really good idea.
Let's do a double date because I'm trying to get my boyfriend to see it.
Let's get tickets.
I'm really trying to get my boyfriend to see it. Just so
but I'm gonna be more on your boyfriend's side. That's the problem.
Oh, that's totally fine.
Okay.
He watched a bootleg. This guy, he's like, I don't know if I like musicals. I'm like, yes, you do, because he was like, where can I watch the Wicked stage play before the movie? And I was like, I can find you a bootleg on YouTube. Like I can do that for you. And so he watched Act 1, and like I want to say he started it at 11:30 at night. So I fully fell asleep because I've also watched during the pandemic, I watched like a bootleg of Wicked like 5 times. Mm-hmm. And I wake up to Defying Gravity. And I was like, okay, it's like 2 a.m. Let's go to bed. And the next day I was like, do you want to watch Act 2? And this guy, he goes, no, I got it.
Like he understands what's gonna happen.
Yeah, from what I've told him and like what happened in the first act, he's like, no, I don't need to watch Act 2. I got it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to get him to go to the Pantages. So I'm like, no, you don't get it though. You don't get it.
I will. That's definitely an idea, and let's definitely talk about going to Pantages. Sorry, Justin. But
I already saw it, dude.
Yeah,
you need to see it.
I do need to see it. Here's also my quick thought before we move on past Wicked. A lot of people close to me love Wicked, so great, good for them. I think everybody who likes Wicked has had a previous relationship with Wicked. Like I came into it almost cold turkey. Like even the songs I've heard bits and pieces, but I'm like, whatever. And I came in wanting to like it, and I came out being like, people are crying and I'm like, I cry every movie. Like, if a movie does a good job just touching my heart, I cry.
Alien Romulus, you were shedding tears.
I didn't see Alien Romulus. I get scared. I don't know if I told you. I get scared. I'm super scared. I can't do scary movies.
Our faces right now are so funny. Alien Romulus might be my favorite Alien movie. It's so good. And
it's really great. I read the Alien comics, if it helps. I read the Alien comic books. So
you won't see anything. That's the thing about Alien Romulus. It's not even that like
there's jump scares.
Crazy.
There's jump scares. I can't do jump scares.
Not even maybe Maggie, I don't know if you have a different opinion. To me, it wasn't like super horrifyingly scary. If you everything in this movie you have seen in the Alien movie before, except for that one last part.
Was gonna say,
except for that,
I know what happens. I know what happens.
Say.
Why do you keep spoiling yourself?
Because,
except for that last part where you're like, what the fuck? And that's exactly what an Alien movie should do. Where it's like, this is what the fuck?
I saw Alien Romulus. I got to see it like right before. I saw it like the Thursday before the premiere, because I think the premiere was on like a Monday. And I saw it they took us to see it in 4DX with the moving chairs and like the smoke and stuff. It was crazy. I saw Alien Romulus 4 times in theaters. I saw the 4DX, and then I saw like a critic screening that my boyfriend took me to, and then I saw it at the Chinese. I think I saw it like one more time. And then I saw it at the Alamo Draft House. So I saw it in a bunch of different forms, but being like literally like shaken around like a rag doll during like the 3rd act, it was actually insane. And I had never seen a movie in 4DX. I didn't realize it was that intense.
I couldn't do it. I can't do Not Scary Farm. I can't do like mazes of any sort. Long story short is that there was a year of my life as a kid where my dad used to jump out from behind corners just to scare me. And
based.
But I used to have the reaction of freezing, having a delayed reaction, and then screaming. So he loved that. He loved the delay. Problem is that morphed into a fight or flight. So it like I started like lashing out. And so it finally ended when I punched him in the stomach, and he was like, okay, I'm not going to scare you anymore. So now my reaction to getting jump scared is
to punch people?
Like this. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I almost hit a kid once when I was teaching kids because a kid jumped out from behind a curtain, and I didn't know he was there. And I was like, oh, don't do that. Don't ever do that again. So it's not that the things that jump out are scary. It's that anything that jumps out scares me.
That's why Dimitri's not allowed within like 100-foot radius of a school.
I punched a kid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, clocked him.
Yeah. So anyway, that's me and scary movies. So I do look up Wikipedia entries on movies that I know I'm not going to see because I just can't handle it. I can't handle it.
Interesting.
Shame.
I'm sorry.
Shame.
Alien Romulus was number 16 on the worldwide box office list. I'm trying to see did anyone see Despicable Me 4? Because that was number 3.
I don't believe in Despicable Me.
Okay. What does that mean?
No, I just don't believe in it.
Okay.
I hate them. I hate the minions. I hate the culture that they have created. I'll never bow down to a minion. Not for me.
Beto.
See, I'm out. It's been nice. Thank you so much. This podcast is over. No,
when I think of Despicable Me, I just think of Universal Studios Hollywood. Like that's like my connection to it, because I've seen the first one. I think
I like the Despicable Me movies. I've seen 2 of them, the first 2, and they're cute. But
I saw the first one. They're fine.
You know what I love is when you go to Comic-Con and there's a group of like 20 Vectors. Have you guys seen that? Like just like a parade. You know Vector, the guy in the orange.
The orange guy, Jason Segel.
Is it Jason Segel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And then everybody cosplays as him, and then they run around.
Crazy. Vector is like the one slur to me. Like that's like the same like vein of weirdness. Move on.
Okay.
Next.
we didn't even do a Keeg Talks on this movie, even though it was huge. It just couldn't find time. Deadpool and Wolverine.
We
We
didn't do a
can't
Keeg
talk about
Talks on Deadpool and
we got to
Wolverine?
talk about it. We can't talk about best of or just 2024 in general. I mean, without talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know whether it breaks my top 10.
Really?
It could,
Interesting.
maybe
Okay.
the bottom part, but
I have so many conflicted feelings about Deadpool and Wolverine.
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is my enemy.
Oh, really?
We're
Ryan
not
Reynolds.
getting any sponsors on this episode at all.
No, sorry, he's not gonna sponsor you with his like brand of tequila or whatever he has.
It's gin, aviation gin.
Oh
the best
my God.
gin in the world. Maggie,
For sure.
But
9 out of 10 dentists recommend.
really?
No, I'm making up shit.
Oh.
Sponsored
like,
by Mint Mobile.
It's like good for scurvy. No, Ryan Reynolds is my enemy, and I never thought it would come to this of me actually defending Sean Levy, because I also think Sean Levy is a hack. And so I listen, I got hot takes. I don't know what to say. I do. And I don't, this is going to sound like I'm like, oh, superhero movies are low tier, whatever. There was a point in my life where I watched the Iron Man trilogy, like just on a loop. Just like I would watch like the first two in one day, and then the next day I'd watch the third one, and then I would just keep looping it. Like during the pandemic, like maybe like 3 months before everything reopened, like, and it was like, man, we're really getting stir crazy. I was watching like Marvel movies have such a near and dear place to my heart, and I fully cried at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine, not at the end of the movie, but in like the credits where they play all of the stuff from the Fox stuff. Like I was shedding tears. But I wish that Ryan Reynolds just let Sean Levy direct. I feel like you can really tell that he like kind of ghost directed it.
Yeah.
And like I just wish there was less interference from that, and I just don't. I have no problem with Deadpool as a character. He's definitely not one of my favorites. But like there is a certain like brand of Ryan Reynolds Deadpool humor that I just find so like grating and unfunny. And I just like, and I thought the movie was fine. I thought the movie was cute. I thought what they did was very clever. I had no major qualms. I also feel like it being the first Deadpool movie, like owned by like Disney or like made by like Disney Marvel, also had some detriments to it. And I feel like it lost a little bit of like the heart of what made the first two like so beloved. Like even in like for example, like in the first two and the opening credits, it's like they do like the silly thing where it's like directed by some asshole who got paid way too much money. And then the third one, it's like directed by Sean Levy. Like it's like little things like that where it's like you can just like tell like the corporation like snuck its little Mickey Mouse paws into it. But I think Ryan Reynolds is a deeply unfunny human, and I want nothing to do with him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Hugh Jackman is like best friends with Jared and Ivanka Trump, and no one talks about it. And they literally like hang out, and that man, I guarantee you, that man is like a weird secret conservative.
R&R.
Yeah, R&R. So those are my Deadpool Wolverine hot takes. Channing Tatum Gambit, haha, funny.
Okay. Justin, we saw the movie together.
Yes, we did see the movie
with
together.
our best friends Ryan Reynolds and Jared and Ivanka Trump.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I will always hold the movies that we saw in San Diego together near and dear to my heart, because I don't know, that was my first real Comic-Con. So that Comic-Con I will remember that for the rest of my life. So
the first one, you're talking about Barbie and Oppenheimer. That was your first one.
Yeah, it was my first one. So this feels like real because the first one was like during the strike, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's fair.
And so this felt like I cosplayed for the first time. Like I got really
Ooh.
into it. I went on 4 days. We saw a Marvel movie. We got into Hall H. Well, I got into Hall
Yeah.
H. Justice gave up, but anyway, I thought specifically about Deadpool Wolverine. There are
Yeah.
a few conflicting thoughts that I have about it. Number one, I think that this is the best Deadpool movie ever made. Number two, I don't like Deadpool movies.
Okay, there it is.
Well, here's the thing. I when I was in the theater watching Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, I was like, wow, these are so funny. These are so great. And so in preparation for Deadpool and Wolverine, I popped those in on Disney Plus and it refreshed my memory. And every joke fell like a lead balloon. When I'm in my home by myself, I'm like, I don't know. It only works in a crowd full of people for the first time. For me, specifically, those jokes. So when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, the thing that works about it is that Ryan Reynolds, or specifically Deadpool as a character, finally has a counterweight or a co-star that can equally punch as hard physically and in the script wise as hard as Deadpool can. Someone like Cable isn't going to do that. Someone like Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Ajax aren't worthy like
Yeah.
sparring partners for a character like Deadpool.
Sure.
But when you put him against the X-Men, which is a mistake in the Fox universe, if you ask me, like
Yeah.
the X-Men, Wolverine, who can not only has the weight of the entire universe and has the acting chops of Hugh fucking Jackman, there are moments where it actually fully like, wow, this is the best one for me.
Mhm.
That being said, I I mourn the possibilities of the X-Men into the MCU because it's very clear with the success of this movie that Hugh Jackman is here to stay.
Yeah,
At least for
unfortunately.
another like 1 or 2 phases. The X-Men will be for the next maybe 1 or 2 phases are going to be the Fox. The Fox universe is coming back,
I don't believe it.
and
I don't believe. I mean, you could believe that. That's fine. I think they're gonna
so
start fresh, but
eventually I think they have to. But for the most part, I think that's our X-Men from right now.
oh, maybe
And
you're
some of
saying. I see what you're saying. Some of those characters come in for the multiverse saga. When that ends, they can refresh the X-Men for the new MCU or something, right?
but instead of letting those characters die, the movie's meta narrative too is no, don't let the past die. No, bring it back. Like we need a Hugh Jackman or a universe will die. And it's like a thing that's a beautiful about X-Men is that all the different characters that you can play off of in this world, it does not have to be about the white guys of this universe who,
Sure.
you know what I mean? And so that it's hard because this is the best Deadpool movie that I've ever seen because you have a universe that can hit Ryan Reynolds back. So that's all.
I definitely agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think if the Fox X-Men are, I don't think a lot of them are going to be our X-Men.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably just keep like Wolverine and like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I mean, they did tease, I forget what Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um so I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if like some of those, but like I don't think you're gonna get the OG, like Jean Grey. I forget who plays her, but
Famke Janssen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't
But
think you're gonna
like,
get that. But
I don't know, but
also,
for
but
Secret
because they
Wars,
kind but they like kind of tied it in a little bow and they did a little cute send off. But then it's also like, oh, we're gonna do it. Also, though, Wesley Wesley Snipes saying, "I'm the only Blade there'll ever be. There'll only ever be one
that joke
Blade."
was wild.
I wanted to like stand up. Like I wanted to like I almost like shot out of my seat. And also, I am a hardcore like Rogue and Gambit stan. Like I did Rogue for WonderCon this year with like one of my best friends. She did Gambit, and we've been like talking about this for years.
Aw.
And I also I don't have I have less of a vendetta against Channing Tatum now. I used to really not like him, and I've kind of warmed up to him. But like me and my friend would always say like, well, thank at least the Channing Tatum Gambit movie didn't get made. Like, thank God, because I do not think I think what they did in Deadpool Wolverine was like the best way they could do it, of like it kind of being a joke of itself.
He was born in the void.
But like when like I surprisingly went in like really littly, like I did not know what was going on. Like I had heard rumors of these characters showing up, but like I saw it early enough that I did not get like spoiled. And when that first flash of purple showed up, like my eyes like popped out of my skull. I was like, what the F is happening? And then when I saw that it was Channing Tatum, I was like, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I was like,
That's exactly it. You're like,
I was like,
how did they pull this off?
I was like, there's no way. And then it was crazy because I went to Disneyland with my friends the day after, like the day after Comic-Con. It was like very poor planning on my part, but my best friend since kindergarten had just gotten engaged. We went to Disneyland to celebrate. And I was like, oh, did you guys see Deadpool Wolverine? And these are very like normal people, I would say, where like they see the Marvel movies, but they don't have a super big attachment. They don't really know the lore. They're not comics people. And I was like, did you guys see Deadpool Wolverine? They're like, yeah. And I was like, what did you guys think? What did you guys think? And I'm like asking them. And I was like, what did you think of, Channing Tatum? And they were like, oh yeah, like that was cool. And I was like, do you guys know why it was Channing Tatum? And they were like, no, what do you mean? And I was like explaining it, and like it was crazy. Like it's crazy that there's just a whole audience of people out there who watch every Marvel movie and see everything and still do not know why some of those choices are made. And I was like, did you guys recognize like Blade? Like you guys saw the Blade movies, right? And they were like, oh yeah, Wesley Snipes. Like yeah, like kind of. That was kind of familiar. And I'm like, why? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
A lot of them
like,
haven't even seen the X-Men movies, right?
I felt like the biggest dweeb on the planet.
No, that's true.
Like with my I was wearing like my Wolverine shirt to Disneyland. And I was like, you guys don't know the lore of Channing Tatum Gambit? And they're like, okay, Maggie, thank you. Like, awesome. Like, what do you mean? It was crazy. That movie did a lot of things. I would not crack my top 10 in the slightest. Maybe not even top 15. Like,
I would say it makes my top 15 just because I didn't see a lot of those indie sleeper hits that came out. There was a lot of like, indie sleeper hits that came out.
Shout out to Dee Dee. Watch Dee Dee. Fun fact.
Like number fact, 12 for me.
Dee
number 11 or 12. Dee Dee
filmed in my hometown. Filmed in the town I grew up in.
Aww.
Fremont, California. The director literally went to not my high school, but I did theater at that high school my senior year, and he went to that high school, Sean Wang. So crazy. I was like so excited for this movie. I was like, Fremont, and like I like seeing it. I was like, oh my god, that's this place. It was crazy. So watch Dee Dee on Peacock.
Okay. I didn't get to see that one.
Sponsored.
My quick thoughts about Deadpool and Wolverine is that I hope that closes the door and that's it. Like, I know money.
We're never getting another
$1 billion.
Deadpool is going to show up in other things. I don't think we're ever getting another Deadpool movie.
I think at most they'll show up in Secret War, but also I don't think this movie stands as a Deadpool 3. It stands as a Deadpool side spin-off movie. They don't further any of the plots or the characters that are inherent in the Deadpool franchise. They don't.
I agree.
Like, they just kind of treat them as like cameos.
Which is like wild.
And also I hate it. Also, I just hate the multiverse in general. I think it needs to be done sparingly. So the fact that Marvel's been doing that is not my cup of tea, but at least do it like good. My problem with Deadpool Wolverine, it does another thing that the MCU does, which is incorporate another rule of the multiverse
You're talking about anchor
That
beings?
doesn't make any sense. Yes, anchor
The
beings.
concept of anchor
Anchor
beings makes me want to kill myself straight up.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like in Multiverse of Madness where they say
No
all dreams are
hyperbole.
multiversal.
Yeah, no hyperbole. The concept of an anchor being makes me want to go into my kitchen, take out a knife, and stab myself in the face.
Right.
Like, I hate it so much. I think it's the dumbest,
It's
most
so dumb.
arbitrary thing. And it also, like, how are you going to do the multiverse where, like, in the comics, like, there's so many things
Yeah.
and so many different iterations of these people and these characters, and then be like, oh, but also one of them is the most important one.
In
I'm
your
like,
whole timeline.
I'm like, you can't tell me that. Like, you can't tell me that. Like, that's not
bullshit.
real. That's such insane bullshit.
The timeline will only exist for the span of that character's life.
Yeah. Like, and what if it's not like Wolverine, where what if it's just like a guy who like lives until he's 80? So the only my anchor being is Jeff the Landshark. That's my hot take.
Oh, I love Jeff the Landshark.
I can't stop singing his little Marvel I don't even play Marvel Rivals, but I can't stop singing. I can't stop singing his little like theme song.
Shout out to Marvel Rivals. We're
Shout
not
out.
talking much
Shout
about video
out.
games in this show, but Marvel Rivals has been crazy. So, just throwing that out there.
I have not played like any video games this year.
That's fair.
But I will be playing the new. I really want to play Sonic and Shadow Generations. I really want to play that.
Is it new or is it?
It's new.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay,
I think it's new.
If people were like going back to old games because of the movie.
No. It's new.
I mean, you guys want to talk about Sonic 3?
Yes.
I loved it. I
loved it so much. Yeah. I loved it so much. I you can't tell because it's what I'm using to prop up my computer, but my boyfriend got sent the like Sega Genesis cartridge to promote the Sonic 3 like things, and that is what my iPad is propped up on right now because I needed like a big box.
Yeah. Justin, you didn't like Sonic 3? Okay.
Listen.
Jim Carrey playing dual roles.
Bro.
I thought he took it above and beyond.
Can I say a hot take? Can I say a super hot take?
Yeah.
I really loved Sonic 3. I think it's the best of the Sonic movies. I
agree.
I loved how much of the game's heart was incorporated without it being a one-to-one recreation of just Sonic Adventure 2. I think, okay, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hold everyone's hand while I say this. I think Jim Carrey might have been the worst part of that movie.
Interesting.
Not because of Jim Carrey, but I think the way they wrote Gerald and Ivo, I think they were kind of just like, and be as goofy as possible and do every Jim Carrey isms. And like, there were times where it like cut to them and I was like, this is a different movie. Like, it's still Sonic 3, it's still silly, but like, it really was like, wow, they're just like, no one's yelling cut, no one's having them do anything. Like, this is crazy. And to be fair, like a lot, like, you know, every Sonic movie has like a weird, like Sonic 2 also had like a weird dance battle party sequence. Like, so I'm like, okay, sure. Like, let the Robotniks do a little dance in their little costumes. That I have no problem with that. But like, there was definitely some parts where I was like, it's like, what are we doing here? I was like, can we get back to the hedgehog? Show me Shadow. So it was definitely interesting. I don't think it's Jim Carrey's fault. I just think they maybe got a little bit too excited about having two of him. But I love that movie. I loved it. I very much cried. I've already seen it twice because I saw it at the premiere and then I saw it again when it actually came out. And I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, I love that little bastard. I love it. Yesterday I was like on TikTok and like all of my TikToks are like Shadow and Sonic related, and I'm watching like a clip of Knuckles, you know, saving his friends, and I'm like fully like crying like I'm a grown woman. I was calling different Build-A-Bears being like, do you have the Shadow the Hedgehog bear in stock? They're all sold out. I need them to restock. Build-A-Bear Workshop, please restock the Shadow the Hedgehog bear because I need him and I was not able to get him, and this is my white whale, like my Moby Dick.
Okay.
Is the Shadow the Hedgehog bear.
Maybe one day. You'll
They
get
just-
it.
yeah, well, or I'll have to pay like $130 on eBay for like what
That's
is
not
like
that bad.
yeah, for like a $30 bear. I don't know.
Markup's crazy. Justin, you dying to say something?
No, I think I agree. Sonic 3 was the best of the trilogy.
Yeah.
That being said, uh, um, I'm getting a little tired of the formula of these movies, where it's like Sonic meets a rival, Sonic and the rival fight, Sonic and rival join forces, and then they use it to defeat Robotnik.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Okay. It might have followed the formula, but also this one played live and learn. So
that I think Sonic 3 is what happens when you listen to the fans a little too much. In that,
maybe.
like, the fans are like, you gotta play live and
Right on
learn.
the edge of
You
tomorrow.
gotta have
Live and
Super Saiyan
learn.
Sonic flying through space and like punching robots, where it's like, that's just the game. That's you just did it. You have to have
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, I feel like that's the problem with the first one is that we're like, well, what are we doing? Like, this isn't the
It's
game
a road
at
trip.
all. Yeah. I think this one, I agree that it followed the formula, but I think it did a good job focusing more on the actual Sonic people instead of like Tom and Maddie.
Yeah.
Like, like the second
but
one, like
they
that
had a
whole.
whole scene where they break into the
Yeah,
headquarters.
but they were working with them. They weren't
Yeah.
like it wasn't like the second one where it was like, and also
There's a wedding.
we're getting married in Hawaii. And it was like, what are we doing here? Like where's the hedgehog? So I think they did a good job of focusing on the humans less, besides like the humans from the actual games, focusing on them less, and then also having them like work together. Like they felt very cohesive as like an actual like family and like as a team. Like I really was like believing all the relationships between these people. Like there was definitely more of a divide in the second one. In this one, I was like, okay, it all flows together well. I'm hoping in Sonic 4, because it's happening, I'm hoping that it will be a little less formulaic, especially now that like, Knuckles and Shadow are already like established and they're there. So I'm hoping, especially with like, no spoilers for Sonic 3.
The
But
inclusion
especially,
of another character.
well, yes, and also now that they're like, okay, Jim Carrey could actually retire.
He's
Like-
coming back. Who are they
He's
gonna
making a
do?
lot of money from these movies. He's coming back.
He's probably gonna come back as 3 characters next time.
I don't know.
Like the dancing thing did not work on me.
I thought it was silly.
I thought it was fun.
I was a little bit over it, but it like literally just played the hits, in a way.
I
It was-
liked the silly dancing scene better than the like montage of like fake growing up in
Oh,
VR.
father, son. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
When I
That
saw
made
it
me
the-
feel so old. The
when I
VR
saw it-
thing. I was
yeah,
like,
when I saw it the second time, I was like, maybe that's when I'll go to the bathroom.
Um,
But
Okay. Sonic 3. There you go. What did that get? What did Sonic 3 get in the... Is it not up? Oh, I don't think this list is updated.
it was beating in America, not worldwide, because it hasn't released in everywhere worldwide. In America, it was before Christmas. It was beating Mufasa, and then I think Christmas, Mufasa nudged it out.
Okay. Well, according to
Because-
this list, it's not doing good worldwide.
Well, because
Is
also
that
it hasn't
true?
it's not releasing, like it like barely released in some countries like today, like
Oh, I
and
get
like
what you
it's
mean.
it's not going to release like everywhere until like January, like
Okay.
early January.
All right. Were there any other big movies that you guys really are dying to talk about before we touch on TV stuff? Because I'm just
Really-
I'm gonna rattle off. I'm gonna rattle off these.
Nosferatu. Everyone needs to see Nosferatu. Sorry, Dimitri, you can't see it because
I'm
there's
sorry.
jump scares.
There's jump
It was
scares.
so good. And I'm not even like a vampire girly. Like Frankenstein is my favorite monster. Like I'm so excited for Del Toro's Frankenstein next year. I'm like actually losing my mind. But oh my god, wait, there's a movie I need to see that I need to talk about after Nosferatu. That I'm gonna blow your mind. But Nosferatu is really, really good. And it is very good. And it's like we were saying that movies need to be horny, and it's like horny in a very uncomfortable way.
No,
It's
that's
like
the worst type of
aggressive.
horny.
No, it's good because it's like I feel like that's like what like the folklore of vampires, I think, is like at the end of the day, I feel like like vampire stories are about carnal desire, and like it's about like wanting, like, you know, it's like, oh, I want to suck your blood. Like that's a crazy thing. Like that's humans don't do that, obviously. And so it's about like wanting and desire, and like the you know, I mean, it's like Nosferatu is just Dracula, blah 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 blah, whatever. But like the the idea of like the plague of Nosferatu and stuff is like wanting so badly and being so lonely that like it like rips you apart, and you like reach out to like the ugliest part of your soul, and like that's where like Nosferatu comes in and like preys upon that. And so like I just thought, I mean, I like Robert Eggers movies. I feel like a lot of people don't. I feel like, you know, you really either really like it or you don't. And but I do. I loved The Witch. I really liked The Lighthouse. But like I loved this movie. Like every single shot, I was just like, damn. I was like, damn, this is a movie. This is a goddamn movie. And I loved it. But also, I have not seen the original Nosferatu. I haven't seen Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. I haven't, again, I'm not a vampire girly. And so I saw this. I'm literally wearing a Nosferatu hoodie that my boyfriend got me. It was really good. I also liked how it leaned into the more occult side of vampires, and it was very like witchy in that, and like folklore in that sense. If you'll allow me, I was looking at my letterbox. I do have one more movie that I need to implore everyone to see, and it's called Better Man. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
Oh
Okay.
no, I just saw the trailer.
Okay.
It was the monkey movie.
Oh no, the Robbie Williams one?
The Robbie Williams monkey
Who
movie.
is Robbie
Okay,
Williams?
you guys, I'm gonna say something, and I need you guys all to follow me. Better Man is the best musical movie of the year.
Better than Mean Girls?
Oh my god, I totally forgot that came out. That was yes. I was looking at my letterbox and I was like, damn, Mean Girls was this year. That's crazy. Yes, Better Man, it's Michael Gracie. He directed it. His first movie was The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
And mind you, that was his first movie ever. So it's the director of The Greatest Showman.
That explains a lot.
It explains a lot. It is a musical biopic of UK superstar Robbie Williams, which the best way I can describe Robbie Williams is the UK's version of Justin Timberlake if he didn't fall off and then somehow morphed into Michael Bublé. Because I feel like a lot of his music now is like very like crooner-esque, like Sinatra-esque. But he started in the movie will tell you everything you need to know. But
why is he a monkey?
He started in a boy band, and then he has like drug problems, and then he went to a solo artist, and he like this guy's big. Like I don't know, like he never really became hot in America. The only reason I even knew who this guy was because one of his songs, I used to be obsessed with the video game Just Dance when I was a teenager. I loved that game. I still love Just Dance. If I went to a party and someone was playing Just Dance, I'd be like, everybody move out of the way. I'm doing this for the next 2 hours. And one of his songs is called Candy, was on Just Dance. And I really liked playing that song. And so that was the only reason I knew who he was. And so then I was like, Robbie Williams. I was like, the guy who does the song from Just Dance. Crazy. So it is a biopic of him, but he is played by like an anthropomorphic, like CGI monkey. And they do a really, really good job. And like the explanation for it is like, well, I'm going to tell you my life story, but like, this is how I see myself. And he sees himself as like a primitive being. And he's like, oh, I'm not evolved, whatever. And I think it does such a good job. I don't think I would give one single crap about Robbie Williams if he was not a monkey in this movie. Like they do it so well that like, you don't even, it like.
Does it come up that he's a monkey?
No.
So it's just like a monkey over.
Yeah, it's
he doesn't do
like,
anything. He doesn't like grab things with his feet.
No. Because when I saw it, I saw it at the Directors Guild of America, and the director did a Q&A after, and they were talking about that. They were like, we didn't want him. He looks like a monkey, but he never walks on all fours. He doesn't. I don't even know if he like. You never really even see his tail because he's always like wearing pants and stuff.
Well, if he's a chimpanzee, he won't have a tail. He looks like a chimpanzee.
I don't know. I don't know monkeys like that.
Yeah.
Um,
So apes don't have tails.
chimps are apes.
Chimps are apes. 5 great apes. Humans are one of them.
Shrimp,
Humans, chimps, bonobos, orangutans, and gorillas.
Shrimps is bugs. Is that what you were saying?
Shrimps is bugs?
Shrimps is bugs. Okay, I'm really a monkey. I'm gonna be so honest right now. Monkeys kind of freak me out.
But you love
by
this
the way,
movie.
when you're done talking about Robbie Williams, I'm gonna segue to another movie that came out this year.
But I love this movie, and they were talking about because he's a very humanoid monkey,
yeah.
and it's also like the eyes they give him, like the human Robbie, like they actually like scanned Robbie Williams's eyes, so it's his eyes, which I think like if he had like monkey eyes, I think it would be a whole other story. But it's so good, and the musical sequences are amazing, and like the songs that they chose of his big songs, I was like, okay, these kind of slap. He has a song called Rock DJ, and I've been listening to it nonstop, and it's like the best musical sequence in the movie. I knew nothing about it. Other people were like, oh my god, how do you not know Robbie Williams, blah blah blah, all these big British people aren't real, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But
it's like Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's like the movie still really works, and I would argue that it might even work better if you don't know who this guy is. Like if you have no preconceived notion of who he is, like there were moments, because also it's a monkey, so you're like, huh, interesting. And like there were moments in these movies where I was like, no way that happened. And then in the credits they were showing actual pictures from these moments that show the movie, and they're like real pictures, and I'm like, this happened? Like this guy has lived an insane life. And now when I see actual videos and pictures of Robbie Williams, I'm like, that's a monkey. Like I literally just see a monkey. So please, I implore you, and I genuinely think a lot of the musical sequences in Better Man were directed better than musical sequences in Wicked. But
okay,
I really dislike John M. Chu, so that's my own preconceived like thing. I think he's a hack.
So I know I was speaking ill of Wicked, but
monkey.
I don't think that I don't hate Wicked or anything. I liked it. It's just but I think that like I got nothing on Robbie Williams. I don't know anything other than he's British, and
he's a monkey.
That automatically makes me all right. What we need is a Spice World 2. I'll watch that. Let's get all the Spice Girls back.
It is interesting that he really never like super cracked the code over here. But like honestly, that's fine. The world doesn't. There's more to life outside of America. But I really did enjoy the movie, and I just kind of went into it. I was like, well, I got invited to a screening. I'm gonna go because movies. And I watched it, and I was like floored. I was like, is this movie like? I was like, wow. Like literally like 30 minutes in, I was like, is this a really good movie? Like I had no expectations, but it was like phenomenal.
I'm just loving watching the TikToks about people hating on him. It's super fun.
Yeah, it's like also like a really weird one-sided beef, because all these like British people are like, you dumb Americans, you don't know anything, and Americans are like, listen, we just don't know him. Like it's not a taste thing. It's just we just don't know him.
Well, some people are saying it's a taste thing, but anyway,
I will say the movie did not inspire me to go into his entire discography. It just made me want to listen to the songs that were in the movie. So maybe every song of Robbie Williams that isn't in this movie like sucks ass. I don't know, but I had a good time in the movie.
Okay, Justin, do you have any quick thoughts before I segue to another similar?
No, I will take that recommendation. I'll actually see it. It wasn't on my card, but I'll see it. I'll take a look.
I'll see it, I guess. I'll watch it on streaming when it comes on streaming.
I mean,
no, it was good.
I don't know who this man is. It's like
but
that
you don't need
Keke
to.
Palmer thing.
Yeah, I started
walking down the street, and I wouldn't know a thing.
No, that's the thing. Like I think it's honestly better when, because in that way, like if you don't really know what he is and what it's about, like it feels more like fantastical. It feels more like a movie rather than like seeing like Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like, well, I know what happens to Freddie Mercury, but it's like I don't know what happens to Robbie Williams. So like I was watching the movie and I was like, what's happening? Like, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? So like not knowing anything about his life like made it feel more like a movie rather than like just another musical biopic.
Yeah. segueing to another movie that starred apes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes came out this year, and I liked it, but also it doesn't compare to Andy Serkis's trilogy that came before it, the Caesar trilogy that came before it. But
Sure.
I love the new Planet of the Apes movies.
They're phenomenal.
I love them. I don't know whether I needed a new trilogy, but like I need a sequel to this one so I can see some progression.
When are we gonna get the astronaut though?
I don't know. It's a different timeline. So
no, but no matter what, the astronaut is coming.
Well, they looked at it in the telescope, right? They saw something and we don't know, right?
Because in the previous movies, in this like current leg of the franchise, whatever you want to call it, they sent someone into space in the James Franco movie. They did
in the first,
and then we never heard from it again. And then in this movie, they're looking at satellites, trying to like figure out something.
And they see something, right? Yeah,
that it has to come back. He has to come back, and I'm just wondering who they're gonna cast as the astronaut. And then that's when like the Planet of the Apes happens. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I did a Planet of the Apes deep dive on the old movies. I watched the first of the old movies again, and I watched the Mark Wahlberg one, which is separate. But and then I watched like a YouTube compilation of like what happens in the next 5 movies. That's like the original old movies. It's
wild.
It's bonkers. So I don't really care much about that, but like the Andy Serkis ones, super good. I watched those with my parents recently, rewatched them because I was like, just bear with me, you're gonna love these movies, and like,
unbelievably good.
Yeah. And then my dad was like, oh, I watched that new Planet of the Apes movie on my flight, and I'm like, which the newest one? And he's like, yeah. And he was like, I liked it. He won't be able to tell me anything that happens in it, but he was like,
okay, King. Go on, King.
He watched it on his flight. Cool. Anyway, I thought it was good. Did it make my top 10? Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what movies came out this year. It's so hard.
I have no stake.
Did you see The Substance?
Me?
It's too scary for him.
It's too scary for me.
Is it scary?
It's also too French for a lot of people.
It's also too gross sounding.
It's like very French.
I heard about things. It sounds gross.
French people should be jailed for the crime of being French.
I think that's
I kind of like baguettes. I like their fries.
That's fair.
I like, but weird thing, they don't believe in breakfast. Last time I was in France, nobody had good breakfast there, but that was a whole nother thing.
I believe it.
Yeah, I don't want to make this an anti-French, anti-British podcast, but I won't. Did you guys see
I really like The Substance, but I think a lot of people's qualms with it are that it's just like at the end it's just very like French filmmaker, and if you don't watch a lot of like movies from French filmmakers, you'll be like, what's going on? But like if you it's like if you know, it's like, yeah, this is fine. It gives me sense. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was like clamoring to watch it again, like I am with like Nosferatu or like some other things, but I was like, yeah, I let it like sit with me for a while. I was like, wow, that was really nasty, but I really liked it.
Another ape movie, Godzilla Kong: The New Empire.
Trash.
Definitely happened. I did not see it.
It was whatever.
We're done.
It's just playing with toys at this point.
Sure.
Right.
It's just toy box stuff. So like, if you like that, like as a kid, I would have loved it. Yeah, sure. And it is something that I could watch with my dad. Easy. We'd just be like, okay, cool. This happens. Great.
Yeah. I do recommend Monkey Man though. Solid movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
solid.
But I was like, it kind of.
Come on, Monkey.
Yeah. See, segue.
There are a lot of monkey. This is the year. This is not Year of the Monkey, right? It's Year of the Dragon. It is Year of the Dragon. It's not Year
What a waste.
Yeah.
Of a good fucking Zodiac, man.
By the way, I'm throwing it out there. Twisters 3, but the E is a 3. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay?
Ah.
See?
Someone call him. You gotta pay for him for that.
Yeah. But Joker 2, I didn't see it. I didn't even see the first one. I just don't want to. And I'm a big Batman fan.
What?
I'm a big Batman fan. I just don't want to see it because it looks dumb.
I've seen both Jokers. They are certainly movies that happened.
Let's talk about that on a different podcast, the worst of the year, because I don't want to bring the energy down
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
best of the year. I'm positive. I want to talk about things that I love this
So you
year.
don't want to talk about Madam Web.
Listen. I have
Um,
a hot take about Madam Web.
I
Madam Web
saw
was funny. It
I
was
saw
good.
Madam Web. Well, I saw most of it. We were watching it late at night, and we put it on, and we were watching it, and then like it gets to like the third act, and it was getting really late or something, and we just kind of like skipped it. And well, because my boyfriend had already seen it, and he was like, "You don't need to watch any of this. It's fine." I was like, "Okay, bet." And so we just skipped all like the boring, weird fighting part, and then we went to the ending scene, and then the absolute whiplash. I like was like annihilated. The movie ends and Dreams by the Cranberries starts playing. The credits. I was like, this isn't real. I was like, this isn't real. What just happened? Like, huh? Huh? But I will not, honestly, I do not have a lot of, I don't have any hate in my heart for Madam Web.
Man.
I think all of the Sony Marvel movies are climbing an uphill battle and playing a losing game. And there is, I don't know why any of them exist, but I appreciate all of the directors and people who star in those movies for at least
trying.
giving it the old college try.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like if I was an actor or director and someone was like, "Hey," if my agent called me and was like, "Yo, do you want to be in Craven the Hunter?" Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could confidently say yes. So I really appreciate all of the actors and directors that sign on to these projects knowing that they're like the bottom of the barrel. Like, yeah, let's make all these Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man.
Three of them came out this year. Madam
Yeah,
Web,
that's crazy.
Venom 3, and Craven. And
That's insane.
I saw 2 out of the 3. I did not
Uh,
need to see Craven. I just was
yeah.
like, it needs to end. Just end. Just end.
If you want to see a movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson that is good, you can watch Nosferatu.
Okay.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Here's the thing.
Did Bullet Train came out last year, right?
That came out so long ago.
2022?
It's
Bullet
either
Train
like
was good.
Yeah, I had no
I like
problem with
Bullet Train.
Train.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. When did Bullet Train show up?
It was probably 2022.
Oh.
But okay.
Correct, 2022.
And real quick, Furiosa. I liked Furiosa. I'm
Oh my
sad
god,
it didn't
yeah.
gross that much. I liked it a lot. It was long, but I liked it.
Yeah, I thought Furiosa was cute.
Cute. Very cute movie.
It was cute.
As we shift into, the final act of this podcast, did you guys have TV shows that really stood out? Big TV show people? I kind of watched the same old this year. I feel like I didn't take a big chance on a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the only TV shows that I like started and finished this year were X-Men 97. That was this year, right?
Yeah.
X-Men 97 and Agatha All Along.
Both great. I liked them.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm not a TV person. You know what? It did not come out this year, but a TV show that I binged from start to finish, that was in my personal top of the year, is Sex and the City.
I watched that for the first time this year too.
Oh my god, yeah, I had never seen it, and I was watching it. And I was
actually
like,
good.
I was obsessed. Honestly, I can't wait. I'm waiting to watch the movies because I'm gonna have like a little watch party with my friends who have all seen Sex and the City. That I was like live texting them like my reactions to things. So I'm waiting to watch the movies, and then after that, I am gonna watch the sequel series on Max. But the only TV shows I watched a couple episodes of The Penguin and I thought it was really good. I just like didn't get hooked enough to like finish it. And I saw the first 3 episodes of Skeleton Crew and I thought it was really cute and I do intend to watch it and finish it. At this point I'll probably just end up binging it once it is all out.
Yeah.
But I saw the first 3 episodes and I thought they were really good. And I thought all along she was cute. She did what she needed to do.
Um, I watched a lot of like IP related TV shows, right? So
Sure.
Star Wars, Marvel, DC, whatever. I watched everything there, and that's like mostly what I watched for TV, or like shows that I watched with my mom, like Abbott Elementary and stuff like that. Shout out to Abbott, but like Penguin, I thought was really good. Skeleton Crew is really good right now.
That
Creature
last
Commandos
episode.
is also good. It's just a different vibe. If you like that sort of thing.
I have
Agatha,
no interest in watching Creature Commandos.
that's fair. I'm very excited for Superman.
Justin also made a face.
Look. Listen. Creature Commandos makes me incredibly worried for the DC universe. It's like
The clips that I have
what
seen
are we doing
and
here?
the jokes and everything that I've seen, they literally make a joke about like the woke mob in like the first episode. Like they say they like that's bad. You shouldn't do that.
Also, weird thing happened in Sonic 3. Throwback to when we were talking about Sonic 3.
Yeah,
Remember weird, what is with like the bad guys, like the heroes walk in and the bad guy being like, well, if it isn't the woke mob, what are your pronouns? Sonic the Hedgehog? And I was like, what the fuck are we watching?
That's like the go-to over like tired joke that they got.
Right? They're bad because they're saying stuff like that. I will say
it was like it caught me off guard. It was like, why is Eggman talking about the woke mob?
There's one of my favorite jokes in Sonic 3. Ironically, does come from Gerald Robotnik, even though I was complaining that he was the bad part of the movie. Is because like at like the start of the third act, or like going into it, they go to the gun headquarters and they're like fighting, and they see Kristen Ritter's character, and she's like the director of gun or whatever, and she like bests them or whatever, and they're like trapped, and Ivo Robotic is like, I can't believe this, I can't believe she got us and this happened, and Gerald goes, I know, I can't believe it, a woman in the military.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck?
He's like from like 50 years ago, from like the 70s. And I screamed. Like when that joke happened, I literally screamed. I was like, that's funny as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Talking about. It was like
also 50 years ago wasn't that long ago if you think about it. Like I think 1950s is 50 years ago. It's 1975.
Yeah. But anyway,
we didn't have women in guns, I guess.
Creature Commandos makes me scared for the DCU. I love Skeleton Crew. I think it's really good so far, especially the last episode. Oh, finally shit's popping off. The Penguin, really good. I'm glad that they kept him a villain in the end. Yeah. I thought that was very clever. Yeah, I know, right? No spoilers.
We're not
but also,
I know what happens. I know what happens. Don't worry. I'm on the internet. It happens. I don't really care about spoilers like that. Like if it's something I really, really am into, I will make an effort to watch it or hide myself from it before I get spoiled. But like with things like that, like me being spoiled for something is not going to deter me from watching it.
That's fair. I don't know. The ending had me really choked up, you know?
But the Acolyte.
Oh, that Acolyte came out this year. We tried to do an after show for it, and it became very uninteresting to do a podcast episode per episode.
What are you guys about to say? I'm so scared.
Here's the thing. The Acolyte, I have some qualms about the Acolyte.
Yeah.
But they're not women in Star Wars.
Sure.
They're not like this is the problem. They have a black Jedi, you know? How dare they have a woman hold a lightsaber? How dare Star Wars be sexy? I love when Star Wars is sexy. I love that. I think we had this conversation in the car back in San Diego, Dimithri. My problem with the Acolyte is that it feels as though it was relying on a big twist that we figured out like 2 or 3 episodes beforehand, and the twist itself didn't justify all the stuff that came before that for me in the show. And that twist spoilers for the Acolyte, was that specifically Master Soul killed the mom, right?
Yeah.
But on top
He
of that,
did. I have no intention of watching the Acolyte.
oh no!
I said I'm not gonna watch it.
You don't need to
Well,
watch
here's
the Acolyte.
I'm not really like
here's
I don't know. I'm like I listen, guys, we cannot get too into Star Wars and my fraught relationship and how it fell off. We can't get into this right now.
Okay.
But
All right.
I have not watched a lot of Star Wars projects.
Skeleton Crew's good.
I'm seeing Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is the first thing where I'm like, okay, I watched Kenobi. That was like the only TV show I watched.
Wait, have you watched Andor?
No.
Holy shit. Andor is my absolute favorite.
I've heard it's really good. I just
Season
it
2
takes a
coming out
minute to
next
get
year.
into.
me and Star Wars, we have issues right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Dave Filoni is my enemy. It's fine.
Well, Andor's
I
not
think
really
that's
Filoni,
the thing.
really, you know.
But like, I think I just disagree with Dave Filoni when it comes to Star Wars.
I'm in Dave Filoni's balls. I really think he's a dumb bitch.
Oh, shit.
But when it comes to Acolyte, I think it relied on that twist.
Yeah.
We already figured it out. The twist was not that great.
No.
And it feels as though they left a lot of on the cutting room floor, but there's a lot of crucial details that left us not understanding what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
Like, what was the magic that the witches were doing? What made Saul just pull out his lightsaber and stab? What was the smoke maneuver? Did they kill the witches? Are they alive? And if they aren't alive, why are we so mad at them?
There's 2 whole flashback episodes.
Yes.
I hated that. You don't need 2 whole flashback episodes to show the different sides, Rashomon style.
That being said, the steamy romance in the show was incredible.
Yeah.
The lightsaber choreography. We haven't seen that good lightsaber fights in a long time in Star Wars. Like, all of that stuff, incredible. For me, when the Acolyte did get canceled, unfortunately,
Rip.
I was not surprised. And to me, a lot of people have a rock relationship with Star Wars. And unfortunately, the Acolyte never overcame that hurdle for me to fight on the floor for. You know?
That's fair.
For me, it was like, well, all right. But a lot of people fell in love with all the elements that I just listed earlier. It's just that there was a lot of problems that deservingly so. There aren't just women in Star Wars. But I can't talk about the Acolyte like that online because some incels
everyone's gonna it's gonna be like, oh, you didn't like the Acolyte? Me either, because women suck.
You're one of us.
Yeah, woohoo, yeah, we hate women, right?
Exactly. No, it's like I wanted a lot more from that show that we'll never get. But outside of like geeky stuff, I highly recommend Say Nothing on Hulu. It's about 2 Irish girls who joined the IRA. It's unbelievable. English Teacher was really funny too. I think that was good.
I heard good things about that.
I watched it. I am okay with it. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Sure.
You know. I liked it. I watched every episode of English Teacher. X-Men 97, we did a whole after show on every single episode. So
X-Men 97,
check that out. But I was really happy the way that turned out.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
wow,
I liked it
incredible work. That's all I was like, okay, we're in good graces.
Yeah, it's different though. It's animation. And animation has always been treated differently than live action because high up executives that have no talent or taste push live action as the be all end all of Hollywood cinema. And it's like, that's why like good animation, it's I don't know if it's more likely to get through, but like it just kind of goes under their radar.
Oh, but when Wolverine was like, I got 6 reasons to say no to you. And then Nightcrawler's like, no, my friend. He pulls out 3 swords. You have 9. Oh, I lost it. That was unbelievable. Crazy. Like that's the X-Men. I loved it.
They were firing on all cylinders. They didn't start back from like scratch, which was nice.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What a fun reinvention. I liked it. Like, what a great show. Like, it was so romantic. I believed in the relationship. And I loved the spy shit that they were doing. It was like they plus. I don't know how you could capture the magic of the original Angelina and Brad movie. That would have been impossible, but they didn't. They tried something new, and I think Donald Glover is the Angelina Jolie, and
Mm.
the actress, I forget her name off the top of my
Maya
head, was
Erskine.
Maya Erskine was the Brad Pitt, and it was sexy, it was funny. So I heard that it's going to be an anthology, so we'll find new spies in season 2,
Yeah, I don't really
which means
understand that.
I think they're dead. I think they died in the end, but we'll see.
Uh-oh.
Spoilers for Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
It's definitely worth seeing, and the slow buildup of their relationship. I love. There's one scene. Isn't there like a knockout drug or a tranquilizer? That whole scene where they're like next to each other on the ground.
Truth serum.
The truth serum scene. It was
Yes.
really good. I'm afraid that they're gonna do what they did with Beef. By the way, I didn't see Beef,
Beef.
but
Ooh,
Beef
is good.
was an all Asian American cast, and then they were like, it's an anthology, so we're doing season 2, but we're doing white people, I think, and I feel like they're gonna do that with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They're gonna be like, okay, it's an anthology, but season 2 is gonna be white people.
Yeah.
Also,
So,
season 3 and 4 are gonna be white people.
oh man, you should have heard my pitch for season 2 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think it should have been Meet the Parents because we met
Oh.
Donald Glover's mom.
Oh yeah.
We know that Donald Glover's dad is not alive, but we know that Maya Erskine's dad is still alive. And she does not talk to him. Why doesn't she talk to him? I figured, what if her dad and her mom were spies, had
Mm.
her, and she got into the same program that they did, and then
Mm.
it's like a Meet the Parents thing. So I thought that would have been it, but I guess not. We'll never
No.
see him again. Oh darn.
No.
Bummer.
It's gonna be Timothy Chalamet and Sydney Sweeney.
Oh.
Someone more interesting than that. Put like, I don't know. What's another? Dev Patel? What's he doing right now? Put him in there.
But like I'm saying that they're probably gonna go this route of like, oh yeah, season 1 was successful. You know what would make it more successful? All white cast. Great.
Oh, who's the main guy in Crazy Rich Asians? That guy.
Henry Golding.
Henry Golding. What's he
Mm.
doing? He was
The
great
last
in
movie
that.
he was in that I saw was Ministry of Gentlemanly Warfare. He was like a supporting character.
Sure. Yeah.
I watched it with my dad. He likes World War
Yeah.
II shit.
It's a real movie for
A
sure.
lot of dads do.
That was Guy.
Mhm.
It was a Guy Ritchie movie. It was a Guy Ritchie World War II movie.
Was Mutant Mayhem this year?
No.
No.
That was
No?
last
Never
year.
mind then.
What's Mutant? What?
Teenage
Mutant
Mutant Ninja
Mayhem?
Turtles.
Oh yeah. That's right.
That was last year, and it was an amazing movie.
Yeah, that was last year. But Star Trek Lower Decks just finished off for people who are Star Trek.
I haven't finished it.
fans.
Don't spoil it.
Okay. 5 seasons of the animated
The-
show, and
The
it's
decks
great.
are even lower this season.
Or are they higher?
Ah.
It was fun. It was good. I liked it. I didn't get to finish Star Trek Discovery. I think that finished this year. There was that. Anyone watch The Floor? The game show?
What?
Oh, wait. Are you going to be on the floor?
No. Though
Is this your
maybe.
announcement?
I don't know.
One day we can dream.
I mean,
I watched-
I have an in, so maybe.
I watched it.
Dimitri.
I did not. I'm not really a game show reality TV person.
Yeah.
I did watch a reality television program this year, and I'm a little ashamed to admit that I watched it. Because it was the Harry Potter Wizards of Baking show. Max,
Maggie supports J.K. Rowling?
do not. That's why I'm so ashamed. I hate her. I hope she dies.
Wow.
I haven't rewatched any of the Harry Potter movies in years. I have no connection to it anymore. I grew up on it, and I quickly severed the arm. I was like, I can't do this.
Except for baking shows?
You suck so bad. But we saw it because it's hosted by the Phelps twins.
Michael Phelps?
No, I think that's what they're. I think they're
Fred and George.
Yeah, Fred and George. It's hosted by Fred and George. And I always joke, I'm like, they're always doing Harry Potter stuff because they're like super unemployed. And so I'm like, literally anyone still doing Harry Potter stuff, I'm like, oh, you just need money. Like there's no way. And so we put it on like as a joke, and then it was actually like a pretty decent reality baking show, and I was like, oh no. And it's only like 6 episodes because I'm Max. And so I was like, I'm gonna have to donate to a trans like
For
like
every
fund.
episode, you have to bake the cake that they made in the episode and donate to a trans person.
Yeah, or something. But it was like really, I was invested, unfortunately.
But also, I'm so scared. This is so kind of off
It's
topic.
like I can't believe I admitted it. It's like my secret
No,
shame.
it's
I'm like
fine.
I'm
It's
like
okay.
I'm so sorry.
You were there for
We
I'm so sorry
listen
for
and we
watching
don't
it.
judge.
We've only been judging. That's literally the whole episode.
I am so worried that Harry Potter is gonna make a comeback. I feel like we lost it. We lost the war.
I'm in fear for sure. I'm hoping that when they do the TV show, which I think if you have your kid audition for that show, I think that is child endangerment straight up, and I think CPS should be called on you.
Yeah, I think with the political climate, unfortunately,
I don't know.
People are still going to the theme park. The merch is still making money.
Yeah.
Like
they're building a whole new theme park. Well, and a whole new land in the theme park. Like it is kind of crazy the cultural impact that Harry Potter still has on us from us not getting a good movie since like 2013.
Could you imagine if Stan Lee was like, you know what? I hate black people.
That would be crazy.
From the grave?
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? They're the worst. Marvel movies would still pump out.
Yeah. Well, also, I would argue that Stan Lee isn't.
Is there an equivalent? An American equivalent?
To J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
George Lucas.
But he doesn't own it anymore.
I want J.K. Rowling to sell or die. Yeah. Sell or die.
Yeah. I hope she does.
Yeah.
I don't wish death on anyone.
No,
I do.
We can't.
I do.
Maggie, no.
The views of the host and the people on this podcast are not indicative of the views of the show. But
follow me on Instagram for more death threats. I actually did. I almost lost my Twitter account because I jokingly told my friend that I was going to kill him with a gun.
Why?
Because he went
in public.
Because he went to the Sweat tour, and I was really jealous. And I said, "I'm so jealous, I'm gonna kill you with a gun," because that's how we joke to each other. And then, 2 days later, I wook up and I got an email that was like, "Your account has been suspended," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
You did it on Twitter?
And I had to well, to be fair, people are on Twitter being like, "Trans women are a scum on society," and also, if you're a woman, I own your body and I'm gonna rape you and stuff like that. And so I don't think me threatening gun violence is our biggest problem on the internet.
Right.
But I literally had to appeal it, and I appealed it, and the automatic AI or whatever that looks at it immediately denied it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm losing my account. Sure, I don't have any followers on Twitter. It's my personal diary, but I have some connections with people that I would like to keep. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try and appeal it again. And in my second appeal, I literally said, I'm sorry, Elon. And then I said my thing, and then that one got approved. So
Kiss the ring.
Make of that what you will. Make of that what you will of the little AI bots that are approved things. Because then also I'll see horrible things on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, let me report this tweet because it's telling someone they should kill themselves because they're fat. And then I get an email that's like, we reviewed it and actually they didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure.
Right.
But with that being said, J.K. Rowling should die. Also, I'm so sorry to talk about Harry Potter so much, but I think the movies are good in spite of J.K. Rowling. And I think her having a big hand in things is going to be to the detriment of it. Yeah. And I'm hoping that the new Harry Potter is just so bad because she's so involved, and that people will finally realize oh, maybe she is not oh, maybe she is a hack. Maybe she's actually not good.
Her world building is horrible.
Yeah.
When you create fantasy universes,
you have to think
Harry
about
Potter, what things mean.
Harry Potter is only good because of her editors and also because of the people who wrote the scripts. And that's another reason why Fantastic Beasts is so bad, is because she had such a big hand in writing those scripts. What are you going to say, Justin? Justin, what are you going to say? Say it with your chest.
I would like to say for the record that J.K. Rowling's views are abhorrent.
Awful
But
woman.
But
But
I would like to say I think it's the tiniest bit of revisionist history to say that they were bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they work in the moment.
No. The movies
You know,
aren't
I
bad.
think they
I'm
work.
not saying that.
You know, it's like, of course the Star Wars world building doesn't work. There's fire in space.
No,
You know what I
no,
mean?
that's a different
Why
thing.
would-
I'm
why
going to
would-
argue about that. That's
There's
a
also
different
would they use-
women in space. Ew, gross.
Also, fire in space is not world building.
No. Because there are definitely some things that you go back into the book and you're like, oh, that was really like not good. I mean, to be fair, there's a character named Cho Chang, so that's crazy.
Yeah, a black guy
Also,
named
like
Kingsley
Shacklebolt, that's crazy. And like, there's like a whole plot where Hermione is trying to free slaves, and the slaves are like, actually, you're a bitch, and we like being slaves.
They loved calling Hermione a bitch in that whole series.
Oh my god,
like a running joke.
That series, like Harry Potter is like surprised. Like for a woman who claims to be a radical feminist, boo turfs are bad. She like really hates women in her. Like none of the women are friends. All of you're either so beautiful that you're hated, or you're like a fugly, pugly, like dumb idiot. Like
Moaning
the whole
Myrtle.
thing. Yeah, like, and then who's that girl that liked Ron that one time?
Lavender.
Lavender Brown.
Yeah,
like
but
her whole thing with Hermione, like there's a lot of things. I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm saying it aged really poorly. And when you go back and read it, you're like, oh, there's a lot of hateful stuff in these books already.
For sure.
Like, ooh.
And also, if we're ranking the movies, the last one that just came out, the Fantastic Beast, what was it? The third Fantastic Beast one?
Crimes of the Secrets of Dumbledore.
I get them mixed up, but yeah.
Secrets of Dumbledore? That's my favorite of all of the Harry Potters. I love the Fantastic Beast.
Are you being serious right now?
I love the third one. It's really good. It has my favorite. I love Jacob Kowalski. He's my favorite character.
You are lying to my fucking face right now. Be so for
funny.
real.
Like there's a line where he's like, baby, you don't have to enchant me. You're already charming. And it's like, damn, Kowalski, okay.
The supporting cast is better in the third, I think, than the other two.
I like them because they're all adults.
Yeah.
I like the character actors that they hire. I love the feats of magic that they do in the movie. And I think Kowalski and Newt Scamander are more interesting characters for me. This is someone who watched all the films and read the books as an adult in college. I didn't grow up I don't have the nostalgic love for them like a lot of people do because my parents were super Christian. And so when I visit them as an adult, I was like, okay, these have a lot of holes in them. But Fantastic Beasts, I rocked with those at the time before J.K. Rowling.
I feel like I'm having a stroke. Genuinely, I cannot believe.
I know I'm not the popular
mouth.
opinion. Yeah, crazy. I know. I just enjoy them. So yeah.
Am I the only one who wants like a hot McGonagall movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, because Maggie Smith is already hot. For an old lady?
Die?
No.
Is she alive?
She's just really old and doesn't act anymore.
No, Maggie Smith died.
Oh my god, she did die. Who am I thinking of?
Rest in peace to Maggie Smith.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't feel sad when old people die.
It was this year. It was a couple months ago, September 24th.
That's the 2024, baby. In the theme. It's in theme. No, I'm just saying it's something that happened in this year.
Yeah.
I'd rather have give us a Quidditch movie. Give us.
Sure. Oh my god, give us a movie about like Ginny. I want if we absolutely have to keep making Harry Potter movies because for some reason maybe the Harry Potter movies are our anchor being of this universe. If we absolutely have to, I think we should make a like straight up like we should make like the Harry Potter version of like Moneyball, but it should be about the team that Ginny plays for professionally, like the Holyhead Harpies.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think it should be like a straight up like Remember the Titans, but like but
I would
Harry
not
Potter
trust
is
Rowling
it's
to do
about-
Remember the Titans.
But she's
yes.
gonna die.
No,
But she's
do
gonna die, and it's not gonna be her. So
That's
that's
fair.
do
also
Whip It. Do Whip It
Whip It.
meets Harry Potter. Whip It's good. Have you seen Whip It? Whip It's fun.
I haven't seen it.
It's great. Has Elliot Page in it.
Yeah.
And Drew Barrymore. It's very good. It's very funny. But anyway, enough about that mess.
Uh,
Didn't even come out in 2024.
No, none of this. Well, the Harry Potter baking show did. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I did see a TV show that I liked, and it's called Big Mood. It's on Tubi, which is a real streaming platform.
Tubi's really making a comeback.
It's on Tubi, and
Or come
it stars Nicola Cohen from Bridgerton fame, and also most recently in an episode of Doctor Who. And she plays a woman with that struggles with bipolar disorder, and it's like a Black comedy, and it was very funny and moving, and I really hope it gets a season 2 because it kind of left us wanting more. I had to like look it up because I was like, I know I watched that show this year, but I didn't remember if it came out this year or not. And it did. So that was like I watched very few television shows from start to end, but that was one of them. I like binged it in like a day or two. It was really good.
Speaking of Doctor Who was on fire this year. It was great.
Are you a big Doctor Who? Oh yeah, you are a big Doctor Who fan.
Doctor Who, it's been really good, except for the last couple episodes, but that's a whole nother fucking.
Like Doctor Who's been amazing, but the last couple ones have like
It's like there's like Nikudigawa is like born to play the Doctor. It's the joyous nature of him is like this is exactly what the franchise needed, exactly when it needed it to.
I saw him when he came to Disneyland.
Disneyland?
I put him on my ride. I talked to him.
Wow. Is he how tall is he?
Like normal. He's not like super tall.
Like
I don't know.
5'10"?
He's probably like 5'9", 5'10". I don't know. Let's look it up. I'm gonna look
I
up how
think
tall.
5'10" is supposed to be average, but
I don't know.
average to who?
Next con I'm gonna do his Christmas outfit with the yellow shirt.
How tall are you?
As you're looking that up, Chaos was that Greek mythology, modern day Greek mythology show. It only lasted a season, but I liked it. Jeff Goldblum as Zeus. I thought it was cool.
Wikipedia says he's 5'8".
Okay, there we go.
I'm taller than Nikudi. Wow, interesting, fascinating.
Cool. I don't think that's how you pronounce his name.
I think it's Is it Shooty?
It's Nshudi.
Nshudi?
I'm just a silly American.
Fallout came out this year.
Very good. Also, incredible work. The secret to a good video game adaptation is hiring Ella Purnell.
So true.
Echo came out, and sadly, I don't think it was Echo's fault, but it was bad. That's the Marvel Echo show.
Yeah.
You already had me for that episode.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
This is the best of 2024 list, so I'm going to try and keep it positive.
Yeah. And I didn't see Shogun, but I heard it was good.
I never finished it.
It won like every Emmy, so I guess that means it's good.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. I think we've covered literally everything ever made in 2024. Very easy feat to do in 2 hours. So, does anyone have any final thoughts about 2024 as a whole? You guys want to leave off with a little monologue of sorts? A ode to the last 365 days?
I am so glad I got to experience this year with you, Dimithri. Thank you so much for coming or bringing me onto this show. I really have a good time. Everyone should be watching the show. It's a very good time. And I can't wait to see what geeky things are in store for 2025. Like, I can't wait to see Fantastic Four. I can't wait to see Superman. And all the Marvel movies are coming back with like an vengeance next year. So we'll see. Oh, Captain America, Brave New World. I'm excited to see that.
Thunderbolt?
Even Thunderbolts looks phenomenal. I was like, this is what the MCU needs. But yeah, all three of those projects, Fantastic Four, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts, are on my Marvel wish list. So I think we're doing a show in 2 weeks on the All Day with Ellie show about what our MCU pitches would be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't wait to talk about that with you as well.
Yeah.
And it was lovely meeting Maggie too.
Air horn. No, no, this was a lot of fun. I really, I think I appreciate. I guess this is the one silver lining of the strike was that it was easier to feel like I watched more. Like last year, like 2023, I was like, damn, I didn't watch anything, but I watched a lot of movies. Like, there are people out there that watch like 2 movies a year and whatever. Like I was like really trying. So this year, like I still have some things I need to see and all the Oscar contenders and all the stuff in Conclave. But I feel very confident in the amount of 2024 releases that I did see. So I appreciate the lighter load, I guess I should say. But it was still a really busy year, like very lots of events, lots of things. I'm going to the Sundance Film Festival in January, so I will so for the 2025 recap, I'll have a whole laundry list of movies that I'll have seen.
Okay. All right. All right. So we'll have to get you back up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be, and everyone's gonna be talking about the Marvel movies. I'm gonna be like, the artisan films at Sundance. No, there is a Gremlins prequel at Sundance, and it's called The Legend of Ochi, and it's like about like the gremlin creature, and Willem Dafoe is in it, and it's a movie, and it's premiering at Sundance, and I'm really trying to see it.
Okay. All right. All right. Um, I'm excited for 2025. I feel like 2024 was an interesting year.
Yeah.
2025, I've already started looking at the movies for next year. So, looking at the list of like what comes out and when.
We're running the data.
Yeah. So
We're
I'm already
crunching the
planning the
numbers.
schedule and everything and whatnot. But I'm happy to have talked about this all with you guys. Especially because we missed a couple key movies and doing like podcast episodes for that because this year has just been super busy. But
Mhm.
we'll see if next year we'll have more podcast episodes talking about the movies that come out. But thank you both of you so much for coming on the show talking about the best of 2024. Before we get going, Maggie, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
I am Maggie Kingdom on every single social. And if you don't, please follow Discussing Film on Instagram. They have a lot of followers on Twitter, but follow them on Instagram because I help out with the Instagram. And so I want everyone to watch my stories and respond to my polls. But yeah, I'm going to Sundance and I might, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to Sundance, so I'm really excited about that. And there might be some really cool movie events that I will be going to in 2025. So more movies. Sorry to TV, but we're watching movies.
All right. All right. Awesome. Justin, same question.
As always, you can find me wherever toys are sold. TikTok, if we still have it, Blue Sky, Threads, and on Instagram, all the same username at Freddy's Roommate. Keep your eye on any cool announcements that may come in the future.
Very cool. Very cool. I put out a question on Instagram and I forgot to read it out loud. I was asking people out there what their favorite movies were, least favorite, whatever. Nobody filled out the least favorite. I think it might have been too negative of a prompt that people didn't feel like taking the time out to be negative. But Miss Marauder and Key Bucks said a couple movies. Wicked, Dune Part 2, that popped up. Nosferatu, Mad Max Furiosa, Look Back, and Exhibiting Forgiveness. As good movies. And then good TV shows, X-Men 97, Agatha All Along, Skeleton Crew, Invincible, Man on the Inside, Arcane Season 2, Shogun, The Bear Season 3, Interview with a Vampire. Did I say that already? Creature Commandos, X-Men 97. Anyway, thank you to everybody out there who turned in those answers on those prompts. I should have read it out earlier, but
oops.
It is what it is. Thank you both of you so much for coming on. For anyone out there who is watching, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show. Or maybe you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Audible, Amazon Music, all that sorts of stuff. We're all out there. If you want to find me on social media, follow my Instagram. I think is the easiest way at This Is Dimithri. But for the Keeg and all the Keeg related stuff, whether it's the Keeg Talks or Comic Talk, that's every Thursday where we talk about comics. If you want to find us on social media, you can find us at The Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Those are our two biggest ones, at The Keeg Show. But we're also on like Blue Sky and Threads and all of that, at The Keeg Show / The Keeg Show, pretty much all over social media. You can find us there. We got a big stack schedule coming up for next year, so definitely stay tuned for that. Again, easiest way, TikTok and Instagram. Hopefully TikTok doesn't go away, but if it does, not
Bummer.
TikTok, you know? They'll just be Instagram. But at The Keeg Show pretty much everywhere. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys once again for coming on. I'm
Thanks for
your
having
host. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for being you.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Or thank you. Or whatever. Anyway, once again, I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been another episode of the Keeg Talks. The Keeg Talks, best of 2024. Take care, everybody. Everybody say bye.
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 Super strong or super fast. Gotta beat the boss and get the loot, 'cause it's the king.